Hello everybody. In this video I'd like to share with you how to prepare your digital files for Project 2 to turn in, at least for your first drafts. This information might also apply towards turning in your project finished drafts too. So here in my typography folder I have my Project 2 folder. I have hopefully have my fonts loaded for this. If not, it will let me know. So I'm going to open up my InDesign file. It does tell me that my font is missing, so I need to load this. I discussed in a previous video how to load fonts. So I'm going to hit OK for now, and then I'm going to load those fonts. Now, what happened is I moved from one computer to another, and so this is why these fonts aren't loaded. So I'm going to minimize this file, and I'm going to go find my Helvetica Neue fonts, and I am going to load those. So again, in a previous video we discussed how to load those. So I'm going to open them and I'm going to install them. So I have to go through and do all of that. So I'll fast forward this video and we will, after the fonts are installed, I'll get back to it. Okay, now we can see that the fonts went from having a pink background to having no background. This means that all fonts are loaded. Also, I might get messages that say that links are missing, so if I click on the links panel, here's the image I'm using, and if it were missing it would have an exclamation mark or a question mark next to it. The cool thing about InDesign is it also tells me, or tells you, if the image that you've used is the proper, well, it'll tell you what resolution it is, what file format is, and all that. So it lets you and I both know if you're using the correct format, which most of the time would be TIFF. In this case, the color space is black and white only, no grays, because these are line art images that I'm using. That was drawn here in InDesign. And it also tells me that the actual pixels per inch of this was 1200 pixels, but I reduced this image in size, so it increases the number of pixels when you reduce an image. It decreases the number of pixels when you enlarge an image. So there's that. Now if I hit the W key, we'll see that this is the design that I've come up with. Let me zoom out just a little bit so we can see. There we go. And now what I'm ready to do is I'm ready to turn this in. This is just a sample. This is not the real text. You can see this is placeholder text down here. So you should have real body copy. So don't let that confuse you. But I'm ready to turn this in. Now, if you are in Creative Cloud, not in version CS6, you will have to do something special here, which I'm going to talk about later. If you are not in Creative Cloud and you're in CS6, you would go ahead and, even if you are in Creative Cloud, you would follow this. You would go to File, and you would create a package of this file. So you go to File, and you want to package it. What this is going to do is it's going to pull together the font you used, any image links, any colors and things like that. Now, if you have warning symbols in this column right here, you want to actually read the type next to the warning. Many times I'll have a warning here that says the links are missing or modified. If it says that they've been missing, then I do not package it. It'll also tell you if you are using RGB color space. Now, in a previous video I discussed, I'm pretty sure that your images that are in color should be CMYK. But this is a two-color job and we're not using CMYK, so there should be nothing in RGB color space. If you did a duotone, that's not in RGB color space. It tells me the color of inks. I'm using one process ink, so my spot color is what I'm using for this creamy color. I'm using spot color and black because this is a two-color job. So everything here actually is checking out okay. So I'm going to hit Package, and this is the printing instructions in the event that you wanted to print to a commercial printer. So I would put my name as the contact, my company information, and so on. This is embedded with a file so that a printer can call you. Now, for this purpose, I just hit continue. Don't hit cancel or cancel out the packaging. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to package this to a place where I can remember where I packaged it to. So I need to go to my Macintosh computer and go to the typography class and hit package when I find that. So I keep my files very organized. So package that. Now it does give me a warning. This warning basically states that fonts are copyright protected. The software does not belong to you if you didn't purchase it. And that sharing it between you and a service provider, that's okay so long as they only use it for your job. So I'm going to hit OK. And it's writing an InDesign file in the font, and it's also including this image. Now I'm going to minimize for just a second so you can see what has happened. So this morning at 10:01 I created a folder called It Started with an Ox. It names the folder the same thing that your InDesign file is named. And here it collected the only font I'm using, it looks like, is Helvetica Neue LT STD Medium. And the instructions file, I can just delete that, it's not necessary. Here's my InDesign file, here's the one I'm actually working from, but it copied the InDesign file. And here is a link to that image that I created or scanned in, the line art, 1200 pixels per inch black and white line art. So that's pretty cool that it does that. You don't have to pull together everything manually. Now what you probably want to do is rename this folder. So I would call it Rebecca symbol, whoops, meaning the symbol is the primary element. Let's see, just symbol, this is draft, so let's call it draft, symbol drafts. And you'll probably put both of these in here, or you could even call it symbol draft 1. And then you'll have a folder for symbol draft 2, symbol being the primary element, and then you'll have a folder for display type or headline. You'll have 2 different files for that, and then you'll have one where the body copy is the primary element, so you'll have 2 folders for that. So you want to organize those in their folders and package them. Now, in order for me to be able to see those, and for everybody else to see them, we need to make a JPEG. So I'm going to open this file again, and I always open my files to check to make sure everything's okay. You'll notice that both of these are named the same, and both of them contain the same information. So you can, what I like to do is I like to open from the packaged file, because anything I do with that file, it usually saves back to the package folder. If I'm opening from another file, it won't. So let me hit the W key so I can see just the design. Now I'm telling on myself a little bit, I don't see grids here, so you definitely want to build grids. I almost always build grids, so I'm not sure what happened to this file. Maybe it was from a different version. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a JPEG for this. So here's how we do that. We would go to File, and we would go to Export. And that's File, Export, or Command E on a Mac, Control E on a PC. Now, in the format, instead of Adobe PDF Interactive, or whatever else it might have chosen, you want to choose JPEG. Okay? So choose JPEG. Now you see how it remembered where I opened this file from? So this was my package file folder, and here's all those fonts and links and stuff. So that's the cool thing about opening it from that location after you package it, is it knows where to go. So I'm saving this as a JPEG. I hit save. We only have 1 page here, so this is okay. Now resolution, that's probably fine. I might go a little bit higher than that, just so when it posts on Blackboard that the type doesn't get pixeled. And it's okay if this is in RGB mode, because it's for the monitor. So that's not like we're printing it. But if we were printing it, we would want it in CMYK mode. But for the monitor, RGB is fine. Don't do anti-aliasing. What anti-aliasing does is it creates a soft edge to hard-edged items where it tries to blend a little bit the pixels from the background to the pixels in objects in the foreground, or where two different colors meet, it will soften it. So I really don't need that here. I'm not going to worry about the bleed settings. So everything here should be pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and put medium there, because 150 is about medium. So everything here now looks good. So the things that I changed was I put the quality at medium, I increased the resolution to 150, and that was it really. So it's exporting it to that folder. The folder is again on my type class. So let's take a look at it. I'm going to minimize this, and you'll see that here's the JPEG. Okay, now you may have to label these something different. Like this should be like symbol draft 1. That way when people are looking at your things, they know what it is. Because if I just had it labeled as started with an aux symbol JPEG, nobody knows what that means. So you may have to change the names of these so they'll make sense. In fact, I think I'll change the name of this one too. Symbol draft 1. There we go. That way it's real clear, again, what these are. Now, of course, you'll have many more of these, and you'll have a few folders. Now, I'll share with you how to turn in this folder. We're going to have to probably pull all of the folders into one and then zip them and send them, because looks like Blackboard will only let you attach one folder or file. It'll let you post as many JPEGs as you want. Okay, so let's post this JPEG on Blackboard. Let me go to Blackboard and go to our typography class and find this week's discussion. Oh, there's my note reminding me I had to do this video. So you don't see that note, by the way. So I'm going to go to Discussions, and I'll scroll down to the most recent discussion, which is First Drafts. Now I'm going to create a thread, and I am going to put in here Professor Bilbrey's example. And this is actually incomplete, so I know some people get a little confused because I don't do everything for the project, so I'll put the word incomplete. Here is an example of one first draft attempt. Now what I would want to do is I would want to go to that critique guide found in the resources and follow those questions along and speak to my work with those questions as a key point. You want to explain your work. So explanation, that goes here, and then you can input the image. So here we would click on the Insert Edit Image. I would find my image by clicking Browse My Computer. Sometimes when you click here it wants to put a URL. If it does that, click out here in the white space. I know I've had problems with that all semester. So let me get to my computer and get to my typography class, find my project 2, and this would be oh, excuse me, it's not just project 2, it's right here, symbols draft. I should put it in my project 2 folder, and I'm going to click on symbol draft 1 JPEG. Now I want to wait till a URL pops up, and then I click on appearance, and this should be changed to 750 pixels. Hit the tab key. Don't worry about changing the second item, it'll automatically proportionally change. I don't need to put a description. I hit OK, and here we can see that it is there. Now you might even say here next to the picture symbol draft number 1. Okay, and then for the draft number 2 you would put symbol draft number 2, then you would do display copy or display headline, whatever, draft number 1, and so on. So I should have 6 total images in here. 2 for symbol as the primary focal point, 2 drafts where the display copy is the primary focal point, and 2 drafts where I've designed where the body copy is the primary focal point. Now I am not ready to attach my InDesign files yet, so I can save this as a draft and come back to it. I can also hit submit and edit it. So I'm going to save it as a draft for now because I'm not ready. Now, we'll give this a second. There we go. I'm going to minimize. So to pull these together, to get ready to turn them in, this is where I need you guys who have Creative Cloud to pay really close attention. If you don't have Creative Cloud, you can advance to the area in the video where we turn this in as an attachment, and well, where we prepare to turn it as an attachment, which would be zipping the files and things, organizing the zippy files. I'll post that minute mark here in a speech bubble. For you guys who have Creative Cloud, what I need each of you guys to do so that I can actually hopefully view your files. Ivy Tech is having a big problem, and so are all colleges across the United States with Creative Cloud. They don't sell site licenses. They're all individual subscriptions like what you guys do. So we don't have Creative Cloud yet, so I'm having to view things in older software. So for Creative Cloud users, I need you to go to File, and you need to go to Export, and you will do a JPEG for posting, but you also need to do an IDML. This stands for InDesign Markup, and the IDML file, it allows CS6 to open up the Creative Cloud files. So it should remember what folder I opened it from, which is this package folder, and I hit save, and you will have two InDesign files. One is the InDesign original, and the other one will be the IDML file. Just leave them both in there, that's fine. Okay, so that's something I need everybody who's using cloud to do. Now, you need to organize all your stuff into a Project 2 Early Letter Forms folder. So I need to grab this folder and put it up here. So now I have, now I'm going to move these fonts out of here. So now I have, I'm also going to get the project guidelines out of here. I tend to organize everything. So I have now anything that I need for Project 2 that I need to turn in should be in this folder. I should have multiple folders in here. Probably one for Symbol Draft 1, a folder for Symbol Draft 2, a folder for Display Draft 1, a folder for Display Draft 2, a folder for Body Copy 1, and a folder for Body Copy 2. I know that's a lot of folders, and you probably are thinking, why don't you just create one InDesign file? Well, if one InDesign file goes corrupt, then all of them go corrupt. All the pages go corrupt. So this is one way of keeping that from happening. Now, once you get all of your folders into a Project 2 folder, go ahead and label it with your name. And you can just call it Rebecca Bill, or, well, don't call it Rebecca Bilberry. Call it your name and then Project 2. Okay, so there we go. Or Project 2 in your name. But you want to zip this. Zipping compresses all of these folders that are in this one folder. So if I right-click on here, and on a Mac that's a control click, I can compress it. Okay, so you guys need to, if you don't have a zip, WinZip or something like that, then go ahead, you need to get that. So compress it, it zips it. It might take a couple minutes, but this allows you to post multiple folders, but the folders are all zipped into one folder. You can't just post this folder unzipped. It probably won't work because it's not a file. You can only post files. This is a zip file. Excuse me. So now I need to post this to my thread. So let me bring back up Blackboard. So for everybody, so this is not just Creative Cloud users. This is zipping and then posting the zip folder. So I'm going back to Blackboard. So I'm going to edit my thread. I click on it, and I am going to edit it. There we go. And I'm going to click Browse My Computer, and I'm going to upload my zipped file. Again, this should have 6 folders inside of it. It should not just have one folder. Okay, so I click on that. This helps me see if you're using InDesign properly, because a lot of people try to do their stuff in Photoshop and not use InDesign at all, and that is a big problem. So I'm going to hit Submit. You must use InDesign. You can use Photoshop for images, that's what it's made for. And then I'm going to hit Submit again. See if it does it. It's probably thinking because it's a couple of gigabyte file. And hopefully, there we go. So I have posted things. You explain your work, you post a picture, and then ultimately you will gather all of your stuff together, you package it, if you're in CC, Creative Cloud, you save it backwards or export it to an IDML file, you organize everything in a folder, you zip it, and that's your post. Now, students, you don't really need to look at this post because that's more for me. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK, and I am done showing an example post of how you would manage your drafts. Thank you, guys.